The Roman Empire, once unstoppable, began to crumble from within.
It was a story of power, decadence, and eventual decline.
At its height, Rome ruled lands from Britain to the Middle East.
Yet, internal corruption and political instability weakened the state.
Emperors came and went, often murdered by those closest to them. Economic troubles deepened the cracks in Roman society. Heavy taxation fueled resentment among citizens and provinces. Meanwhile, the army became overstretched, and mercenaries filled the ranks. The borders of the empire faced constant pressure from barbarian tribes. These tribes weren't just outsiders, they were opportunists sensing weakness.
The sack of Rome in 410 by the Visigoths shocked the world. It was a symbol that even the mighty could fall.
Political infighting made coordinated defense nearly impossible. The Eastern and Western Roman empires drifted apart. Inflation and devalued currency further destabilized the economy. Military defeats eroded confidence in Rome's power. Emperors relied increasingly on foreign mercenaries for protection. Plagues and famine weakened the population. Religion shifted as Christianity rose and challenged traditional Roman authority. Cultural changes added to societal friction. The Vandals captured North Africa, cutting off vital grain supplies. Economic collapse followed, causing widespread hunger. Rome's military responded, but was often too little, too late. The Eastern Empire survived, but the West faltered. In 476 AD, the last Western Roman emperor was deposed. Barbarian kings ruled in Rome's place, ending centuries of imperial rule. The legacy of Rome survived in law, architecture, and culture, yet the fall marked a transition to a new medieval order. Population decline and urban decay reshaped cities. Trade routes collapsed, isolating regions. Cities became defensive fortresses, fearing further invasions. The elite fled, leaving ordinary citizens vulnerable. Military reforms failed to reverse the decline. Rome's enemies adapted, learning from every Roman misstep. The Gothic Wars and Hunnic invasions destabilized Europe. Civil wars further drained resources and morale. Roman identity persisted, but the empire could no longer enforce unity. Education and administration continued in pockets, especially in the East. The church became a stabilizing force as emperors fell. Rome's military infrastructure crumbled. Forts and roads fell into disrepair. Yet Roman engineering and law influenced emerging kingdoms. Emperors' extravagant spending accelerated financial ruin. Barbarian mercenaries increasingly dictated political outcomes. The Western Empire could no longer field armies large enough to defend borders. Invaders penetrated deep into Italy, plundering wealth and land. Political legitimacy eroded as rulers lost control. The economy shifted to localized barter and subsistence farming. Cities depopulated, with abandoned buildings overtaken by nature. Yet Roman culture remained influential across Europe. The Eastern Roman Empire preserved traditions for centuries longer. Western Europe fractured into multiple kingdoms and fiefdoms. The fall of Rome was not sudden. It was a slow, multifaceted decline. Economic collapse, political instability, and external invasions converged. Decline was evident in army effectiveness, tax revenue, and urban life. Plagues, famine, and unrest compounded the empire's fragility. The Western Empire's fall reshaped European history forever. Yet its cultural and legal legacy endured. Architecture, language, and engineering survived as reminders. History remembers Rome not just for its fall, but for its influence. The collapse paved the way for feudalism and decentralized power. Barbarian kingdoms brought new customs and governance. Yet Roman roads, law, and trade frameworks remained foundation. The Eastern Empire, or Byzantium, carried Rome's flame. The West learned harsh lessons from Rome's fall. Despite decay, the idea of Rome persisted, culturally and politically. The fall demonstrated that empires could crumble without collapse from the outside alone. Leadership failure accelerated decline more than invasion. Economic mismanagement left the state vulnerable. The last emperor's deposition marked a symbolic end. New powers rose from the ruins of Rome. The fall was tragic, but it allowed for cultural transformation. Rome's story is a lesson in hubris, governance, and resilience. Even in ruin, Roman influence persisted across law, language, and architecture. The empire's collapse was a turning point in world history. The Roman Senate, armies, and people all played roles in decline. The fall shaped the political landscape of Europe for centuries. Urban centers shrank, and power shifted to local lords. The legacy of Rome continued through the Church and Byzantine Empire. Rome's downfall was both an end and a beginning. The empire teaches the fragility of even the greatest civilizations. Yet its cultural and technological achievements influenced generations. Because the story of Rome is a testament to human ambition, hubris, and endurance.